Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently in the finals, the grand finals of the SCReddit Invitational Tournament between DuckloadRa himself and the infested Terran Morrow as the Blue Zerg.
And, of course, I don't know if you've heard, but these guys actually have been playing finals all over the place. And even though this was pre-recorded, it's kind of like White Raw playing multiple tournaments in a single day. The guy's stamina is just amazing, day 9, even though, again, this is pre-recorded. But, guys, welcome. I'm so excited for this. Last time we were thrown off because of connection issues, but there will be none of that tonight as we will crown a winner of the SCR, the SCReddit Invitational. I'm really excited to be here, Day.
Dude, I am super pumped. I mean, White Raw, a.k.a. DuckloadRa, has also been having the opportunity to train for a lot of big PVZs. For instance, later tonight, actually, at 8:30 Pacific, he's playing against Sen for the grand finals of the Root Gaming Warzone tournament. So just tons of StarCraft PVZ on his mind. So definitely he's going to have a lot of good stuff under his belt for Game 1.
So Morrow, of course, our Zerg player, formerly a Terran player who has made the switch. He has decided to go gas first on this one as his opponent, Gateway, is down, and White Raw is getting his production all set up. Now, one thing to note and one thing that's kind of exciting is we do have these cross positions here. When we say, I guess I should say, same side positions, of course, you can go through the back rocks, and this is going to be scouted by both players very soon. And White Raw does continue his scouting pattern of kind of going that way and then the other way. I think he learned a little bit from last time, as he is definitely going to find Morrow right away.
Where are we at?
Did we lose Day? Did we lose Sean?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Do not kick your microphone out. Do not put your microphone cord by your feet. But in exciting news, this is something we were talking about yesterday, where Morrow, who's doing this gas first opening, even though players do like this kind of early expand style on this map because it's so safe, you never get your build messed with if you open up with a gas pool opening. We can even see that speed is coming out right on time. The Queen and the Lings are about to pop as well.
Welcome back, by the way. Yes, we've got the cybernetics core going down for White Raw, and I too like that as well. Very safe, and then having that 100 gas right away. You can see that Morrow has actually pulled his drones from the gas now. He's just going minerals at this point, and we're going to have the hatch go down. We see the probe get chased away by a couple pairs of Lings, and there is the hatch for Morrow.
Yep, looks like they will be able to repel that scouting little dude. Now, White Raw has done a wide variety of openings on this map, getting a whole lot of gateways at his front and then expanding, but we've also seen him do the exact same thing, block his front with gates, and then go for a 5 warp gate all in. Again, which was one of the many disconnects we had last week, and we do indeed see White Raw throwing down those gateways. What great placement there. Little tiny entrance at the front, and this is especially great because it means he probably won't even need to get a cannon or a forge. So it does look like we're seeing Morrow begin that drone production. This is always a very nice period for Protoss because really Zerg has to go only drone at this phase of the game. We do see 4 drones popping out right now. Overlords from Morrow being planted all around the map, and second gas going down for White Raw.
Yep, and second Queen being made for Morrow as he moves her on over to that hatchery that will split. We do have the 2 gateways up front. And we do have this Overlord in the back here by Morrow getting, the ability to just skirt on the outside of the base. He'll definitely be able to see if an expansion goes up as well. And we just have a few Zerglings coming out. The drones continue for Morrow. So just kind of getting his economy ready as we see his now natural up and running.
Yeah, there are those 2 spine crawlers going down right now at the front. Very smart play. Again, if you're going to be devoting all your larvae to drones, make some of them into spine crawlers for defense, especially on this map. I mean, we look at that entrance right next to those spine crawlers. That is so narrow. Almost every StarCraft 2 map literally has every expansion in the middle of nowhere, impossible to defend, but not so on Shakura's Plateau. And, look at the 5 warp gate coming up by Duckload, and look at that. We see Morrow trying to sneak an Overlord to the expansion, trying to see if he can spot what's up, but no. We do have all the Zealots and Sentries heading through the center of the map, and if that pylon gets planted, that could be big trouble for Morrow, who's throwing down oodles of spine crawlers right now.
Yeah, I like the reaction with the 2 more spine crawlers. He's got the 2 up. No units coming out. A few Zerglings. He's continuing his drone production. I think hoping that these spine crawlers are going to be able to detract him a little bit here, but he is getting ready to march up this army. The Roach Warren is only halfway done, not even quite there. The one stalker is going to head up. He's going to fire away at a Ling, and this could be real nasty depending on what White-Ra decides to do. The pylon right at the bottom of the ramp. He is going to be able to reinforce real quick.
It's funny to note that that creep tumor is very good placement. Those pylons, ordinarily you want to place them so you can warp in up to the high ground, but you can't quite get a good angle with that creep spread. So very nice there by Duckload. And there's the Guardian Shield heading up. And now the headbutting of the spine crawlers begin. The Queens are getting in the front. They got to pull back. They're huffing and puffing their way into the retreat. More Zerglings popping out. 5 Roaches en route. But that is a lot of damage being dealt. And some great transfuses on the spine crawlers. Oh my gosh, did Morrow actually hold it off? Those 2 transfuses were key. And it looks like, no, not quite. And now the Roaches have finally hatched. They're going to be able to do a little bit of damage. One more spine crawler coming up. Some amazing, amazing micro right there. Keeping those Queens alive. Some of them do have 50 energy right now, so some transfuses will be able to arrive. And look at that defense by Morrow Wheat. I don't believe it.
I cannot believe it either. Absolutely crazy, but Morrow is definitely staying on top of things. We still got a few more units coming in. Queens are going to have to back off. More spine crawlers are going down, and a few Lings chasing the stalkers out of there. Is White-Ra ready to call it quits for now? We're going to have a spine crawler rerouting here. Starts to do some more damage, keeping his units back. When is he going to decide to attack? One Zealot goes down. He is going to move forward, still getting damage with those spine crawlers, and that might be it. He might cease the pending attack here as we see another heal on the spine crawlers, but no, he just keeps at it.
I mean, that was just great play by Morrow. We now see him replenishing Queens, finally beginning to do the larva vomit back in the main, and it looks like White-Ra hasn't quite had enough. There's a whole bunch of Zerglings darting down the ramp, and they're going to be able to surround those stalkers. Oh no, it looks like White-Ra is finally going to have to back off on the aggression, doing a lot of damage there, and we do see now, as we have just passed the 10-minute, 20-second mark, Nexus finally going down. Such a late Nexus for White-Ra. Ordinarily, you see those get thrown down at around 7 or 8 minutes, but Morrow, with the amazing defense and all the Queens, that's one of the coolest uses of transfuses that I have ever seen.
It was really solid. Those things stayed alive for a long time, and all I saw was a sea of Zealots, and he wanted the Zerg to swim in it, but it just was not going to happen. Pylon in the middle also going to get taken out here by Morrow, and now's his opportunity to really start to army up. He is going to take a third base here as well, moving the spine crawlers forward just a little bit, spreading that creep, which will be oh so important later on. Meanwhile, White-Ra has pretty much, he's stopped his gateway production for the most part, just a couple units coming in here and there as he gets this expansion up finally.
I mean, I'm really, really impressed with that response by Morrow. I mean, it's so typical that you see Zergs kind of use the layer tech as their crutch. Those mutas, the Roaches with speed, the Roaches with burrow. We're seeing an almost all hatch defense by Morrow, using spine crawlers, a lot of Queens with transfuses, great Roach Zergling timing, and now getting that third hatchery before he started his lair. Lair is en route right now, but I mean, if you just take a glance back at Duckload's base, see at Stargate going down, Morrow's going to be fine for quite some time.
Yep, Stargate, a couple cannons being put out at the front, and, it was very nice, just as you mentioned, how he defended that. I think, of course, that little ledge of Shakuras allows him a little bit more freedom to be able to do that, and obviously something that he's done many, many times. He does have 2 gases up over here on the side, but he has not put any units on there. Finally, we're going to see some shifting on over. A few Zerglings just outside the base to make sure nothing is going to be moving out, and what is coming out, we've got some Phoenixes now coming out of the Stargates of White-Ra.
Ooh, now keep in mind, this is the 1.2 patch, so that means those Phoenixes do take 35 seconds to build instead of 45 seconds. If only they were free, because Phoenixes are some of the coolest units in the game, but alas, they cost at least something. So it does mean the Duckload is going to be churning a lot of those Phoenixes about, and the Queens will have to puff their way around the bases like little baby elephants, trying to snipe them down, because right now we only see the layer has just finished. So there's the Spire en route. Do we see a Hydralisk den going down somewhere? It looks like it. He seems to have hidden it so well, Wheat, that not even I can find it. Oh, never mind. It's right next to his pool and Roach Warren.
It's right there. And yeah, he's getting both the Hydraliscent and the Spire. Also, just look at this almost horrific, and I say that in the best way possible, creep spread, as it is just literally creeping over to his opponent's base. I mean, it is going out so quick. I think he's got, what, 7? Oh my God. 7 tumors, just kind of spreading it across the way there. And I think that we could see some really interesting things if he gets all the way there. Also, the second hatch going down. The Phoenixes are out now, and there are only 2 doing some Overlord harassment here, and the Queens are going to fend them off. He's also getting some Spore Crawlers there for defense. We've got a Void Ray out as well. Interesting to see how Morrow deals with this.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very, very interesting revelation a lot of PvZers had. The fact that Phoenixes and Void Rays work so well together in terms of being able to pick off Queens, or even here in the center of the map, we see that Roach gets lifted. When you lift a unit, it's fixed in place, so the Void Ray has a better opportunity to charge. But look how Hydraliscs are going to be able to maybe take that out, and whoa, it manages to escape with 81 hit points. But I am absolutely terrified at how good Morrow is playing in this game. He has 4 hatches on 3 bases up extremely quickly, getting the +2 attack, now taking his 4th base in the bottom right. Great play.
And we are having the Rocks getting beat on here in the back. It could be a signal that he wants to move through there. And one thing you're going to notice is no mute has come out, but look at the focus here on the upgrades for the air units. Now Corruptors are hitting as well. Thermal Lance, Extended Thermal Lance going into production, and the Colossi are going to start pouring out of the base of Whiterun here. So we got more Void Rays on the way as well, and I really like that. But a attack here by Morrow. He's going to push up with Roaches. Gets a few hits off, but he's only going to make a little bit of noise at the front door. The creep continues to spread, and another hatchery goes down for Morrow.
And look at the bottom right of Duckload's base. We see a second Stargate getting produced, and it looks like Duckload is now heading to that backdoor destructible rocks. He clearly has the plan to do his Void Ray Colossus mix. He is not going to be using a lot of those gateways anymore. He is just going to be going all mass beast power gas heavy units in this late game stage. You see that Extended Thermal Lance, as you said, is getting close to done. Duckload now taking the north base, and really what Duckload's saying right here is that I am going to win on 3 bases or I'm going to lose this game. There is no good 4th base for Duckload at this point. He has walled off his front. He has accepted the fate there and is just going to try to pour everything into this attack. And oh, it looks like Morrow's going to exploit it by trying to break through the front. One Colossus pops up, but it's going to get taken down, and there it falls. Gosh, great timing there by Morrow. Most Zergs would actually never even make that attempt up the ramp.
This is actually quite beautiful day as Morrow does break in through the front, distracting this army. He did see the Nexus go down thanks to a nicely put creep tumor, and now these Roaches are going to get taken out here by a mixture of, well, basically the whole army of Whiterun, but it kind of threw him off here a little bit. He was poised up and ready to attack as he defended this third. Now the creep is spreading. He didn't get to stop those tumors, and the army of Morrow is moving to the back door. He's going to go ahead and say, hey, I'm not going to wait for you to break down the rocks. I'm coming out there. And notice the amount of Corruptors that he has in comparison to the Roaches and the Hydraliscs. This is going to be really interesting, and here they go.
And there's the one shot on the Phoenix. Great force field at the ramp, but almost every one of Whiterun's units can get hit by those Corruptors. There aren't even any Colossi left on the field. It might just be a Void Ray ground army for Duckload. We do see him trying to take the gas. That is just so bold, expanding right on top of the creep. And here comes the second push by Morrow, trying to split everything up, and everything is covered in the green corruption. I've never seen that ability used that much, and everything evaporates almost immediately. Duckload down at 86 food. Morrow manages to take the win in impressive fashion.